This is Dreams of Jeannie. I'm out here on my patio, and I came out here to talk about something that occurred to me when I was out here making a short video about finding flowers in my garden that brought me some joy. And that is finding joy in small things and when things are kind of dark or when there's a lot hanging over your head. And I think sometimes I know I do, forget to look for those small moments that can make you smile, lighten your heart, and just bring a little joy in your day to day, whether things are hard or not hard. I find small joy in seeing my husband do something like we went to the gym today and he was working on the exercise equipment and walking, doing laps. It brought me a huge amount of joy considering what he's been through. And something simple like a text message from one of my children, just to see the text message from them makes me so happy. And then I come outside and I see a couple of flowers, like right behind me, there's still a plant flowering right over here. And that just makes me so happy. And even something like having a good meal, doing something that feels normal when things aren't normal. There's so many things in our lives that bring us joy that I don't think we always appreciate. So I'm sorry, I'm doing lots of so's and ums and ands. That's just kind of how I talk. But I think we forget, we get busy, and then we think things are stressful, or we get caught up in problems and overwhelming things. And sometimes you need to just sit and stop and look at the small moments, maybe in a particular day. I remember years ago, I used to watch Oprah Winfrey, and she had you do a journal where every day you wrote 3 things that brought you joy in that day. And I did that for a long time. I still have the little notebooks. Every day I would write just things at the end of the day, 3 things that made me happy that day. And I think I'm going to bring that back and start doing that again because we've had some hard times. And I'm sorry, it just got a bite. Something bit me out here. They always get me when I come out here. It doesn't matter whether I'm out for a minute or not. But my point is maybe you have to look for it. Maybe you need reminders. I've mentioned before, my husband and I went through a lot this past year, and for the years before that, but particularly this past year when we thought he had dementia. And it was such a dark time. It was one of the darkest, hardest times of my life. And that included dealing with breast cancer and the loss of my mother and his father, our last 2 remaining parents in the last few years. But when I look back, I know that there were moments when I did find some joy. If I had a moment I could keep an eye on him and do some yoga, that brought me a huge amount of peace. Or when I just was able to, we ordered some food and food delivery, grocery delivery, that brought me peace and took some things off of my shoulders that I was worried about because I couldn't leave him for a while. It doesn't have to be big moments. It can just be little things that in the midst of maybe hard times or just even a normal day. Normal days can need moments of joy too. And I think we just forget, I know I do, forget to look for those moments of joy and peace and calm, but particularly the joy. I came out here today and looked at, I have 2 peach roses over there, right back here in my round garden. I had seen one this weekend, and I came out here yesterday, and I turned around, and there was another little peach bud just barely getting ready to open. And I was excited like I was a little kid because everything is turning dark and everything's drying up and it's getting dark early. And it reminded me that there are still bright moments. And it made me think of that. There's an old phrase, I think it's a rose in winter, and I know it's part of a longer thing, and I don't know what that is, but in the midst of whatever you're going through, there's going to be some moments of joy, hopefully, some moments just that bring you a little bit of a smile and a little moment's peace. And I think that's just worth remembering. So I guess that's the message of this video is look for the moments of joy, a little bit that they might be, or big moments, and just look for them. And maybe make a journal and write down 3 things in your day every day that, like I used to do, that Oprah suggested, and I might start doing that again. But it made me every day I'd sit down and write what I was thankful for at the end of the day, and I kept it in the drawer by my bed. So look for the joy in your day to day, and then the moments of peace and calm. But the joy is kind of what keeps you going, don't you think? Joy is so important in our lives. So that's my message for this video is find the joy.